We broadcast from our studios at 14 Ocean Boulevard in the Digicel Center, downtown Kingston, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band, 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester. Transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew and parts of St. Thomas, and 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM, also broadcast on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live and on Flow at Channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tana Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Wednesday, May 6, 2026. JLP accuses opposition PNP of seeking to denigrate House Speaker Juliet Holness. The PNP's Dr. Angela Brown-Burke remains defiant in controversial Mace incident. Government allocates $246 million for hurricane mitigation work ahead of the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season. In regional news, Venezuela tells the World Court it has no jurisdiction in dispute with Guyana over Essequibo. In international news, China calls for a comprehensive ceasefire in U.S.-Iran war. In sports, JBA says local players will form nucleus of the squad for Central American and Caribbean games. And in business, Saudi Arabia posts $33.5 billion budget deficit amid a drop in oil sales. The details after the break.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party's Communication Unit, Senator Abka Fitzhenley, is accusing the opposition PNP of seeking to denigrate House Speaker Juliet Holness. Senator Fitzhenley made the claim in a statement to the media on Tuesday afternoon. Siobhan Campbell reports.
I will not be trampled on.
Senator Fitzhenley says the opposition believes that the fact it has 28 members in the House of Representatives means it and not the House Speaker is in charge of the proceedings in Parliament.
I have been observing parliamentary proceedings in Jamaica for over 2 decades now, and the level of lack of discipline and disregard for the guidelines of the parliament that is being displayed by this current Mark Golding-led opposition PNP is the most severe I've seen it for a long time. The opposition has sought to turn the most honorable Juliet Holness, Speaker of the House, into a scapegoat because they cannot get away unfettered with this level of heightened lack of discipline, which they insist on imposing on the parliamentary proceedings.
Senator Fitzhenley says the House Speaker is the victim of a deliberate campaign of disrespect and denigration by opposition MPs. He says opposition MPs are taking their cue from their leader, Mark Golding.
What is most disappointing is that the opposition leader has led the way in the display of lack of discipline. Last week, he was first on his feet when the marshal was directed to do his duties, which he has authority to under the standing orders of the Parliament. And this week, he insisted on raising a point of order, accusing a minister of misleading the Parliament. When those of us who are in the Parliament and observe Parliament know that is not provided for in the standing orders which govern the operations of the Parliament.
Senator Fitzhenley says the defense by the PNP of the Mace shenanigans of Southwest St. Andrew MP Dr. Angela Brown-Burke is additional evidence that the opposition believes it's above the rules of Parliament.
What is clear is that because the opposition cannot get their way and trespass upon the guidelines concerning how a good functioning Parliament should operate, they have sought to denigrate and bully the Speaker. I actually heard an opposition member refer to Mrs. Holness whilst Dr. Holness was making his contribution to the budget debate in the most derogatory and insulting manner, a word not fit for airplay that some people use to refer to women. Their conduct has been most obscene and should be condemned.
Senator Fitzhenley says the opposition must be told that its attempts to undermine the rules of Parliament are damaging to the democracy.
Every parliamentarian who takes the time to look at the standing orders knows that a personal statement shall not be made concerning a matter that is controversial. Philip Paulwell knows this, Mark Golden knows this, Mrs. Brown-Burke knows this. However, they have put out a statement seeking to denigrate the Speaker and the Parliament of Jamaica for not allowing them to breach the very guidelines of the Parliament. The statement put out by the PNP is another indicator of their feeling that they are above the law, above the guidelines which govern the Parliament. That statement they put out is a total disgrace.
Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, Southwest St. Andrew MP Dr. Angela Brown-Burke remains defiant, declaring that she will not be silenced as an elected parliamentarian. Dr. Brown-Burke used a section of her presentation in the sectoral debate on Tuesday to respond to the chain of events triggered by her decision to remove the ceremonial mace from its position during a meeting of MPs in the House last week. Kimon Thompson reports.
I will not be trampled on. That's the defiant message from Dr. Angela Brown-Burke in her response to the firestorm created by her mace shenanigans inside Gordon House last Tuesday. Invoking the spirit of the country's national heroes, the Southwest St. Andrew MP says attempts are being made to silence her inside the House.
We are descendants of Paul Bogle. We are descendants of Sam Sharp. What that means is that many of us who are sitting in these hallowed chambers, in this house, are only here because there were individuals who dared to buck the system. Because there were individuals who said, I will not be treated as a non-entity. We cannot sit in the chambers where persons use the bully pulpit to say just about anything they want, and we have to sit silently.
The PNP issued a statement on Tuesday evening criticizing House Speaker Juliet Holness for failing to acknowledge or allow a personal explanation submitted earlier by Dr. Brown-Burke. That personal explanation was to allow Dr. Brown-Burke to address matters of personal and public importance through the established parliamentary process. According to the PNP, the House Speaker was motivated by bias in not allowing Dr. Brown-Burke to make the statement. Section 18 of the Standing Orders, the rules which govern Parliament, says while a personal explanation may be made with the leave of the Speaker, such a statement cannot be made about a controversial matter. During her sectoral debate presentation, Dr. Brown-Burke demanded that members of the House be treated like adults.
That we teach children differently from adults. We talk about pedagogy and andragogy. Because adults are self-directed learners. Because adults want their experiences to be validated in how we deal with them. This is no different in the chamber. No one gets to come into the chamber regardless of who you are, to pontificate and to scold the rest of us without taking responsibility for your own lack of decorum and disrespectful behavior.
In an interview last week, Dr. Brown-Burke accepted that her behavior was unparliamentary, but she declined to offer an apology on Tuesday.
I have never been a submissive female. It's too late for me to be that now. It's too late for me to be that now. So you will not get a submissive Angela in the chambers. No. However, I respect my colleague. But there's a line I draw. If I come before you and every day you disrespect me. That's right. Them say one day the bucket bottom I go drop out. And when it drops out, those who have the authority to punish, go ahead. Go ahead. History will absolve.
Kimone Thompson, Nationwide News.
And the People's National Party is further accusing Speaker of the House of Representatives Juliet Holness of bias in carrying out her duties. During a media briefing on Tuesday, Leader of Opposition Business Philip Powell chided the Speaker for not acknowledging the personal explanation request submitted by Dr. Angela Brown-Burke.
I wanted to make that the member from St. Andrew wanted to speak in the same way that the Speaker was speaking. And in fact, a letter was sent to the Speaker seeking approval for a personal statement to be made today in relation to the matter. There was no response from the Speaker to the member. And so, again, for me, this was a continuation of an atmosphere of unfairness, unreasonableness, and partisanship being displayed at the highest level.
However, Nationwide News understands that the request was rejected by the Clerk to the Houses of Parliament, Colleen Lowe, as not in keeping with the standing orders. It's further understood that Mrs. Holness was not initially copied on the request submitted by Dr. Brown-Burke. She was only forwarded the request by the clerk after Lowe had substantially dealt with the matter and replied to the Southwest St. Andrew MP. Meanwhile, East Westmoreland MP Dr. Dayton Campbell accused Mrs. Holness of not similarly restraining government members who breach the rules of Parliament.
One is forced to protest because of the palpable nature of the biases that are evidenced each week. Last week, the Speaker allowed the Leader of Government Business to stand on a point of order when I made the point that the government had declared that the ground zero for hurricane was in Black River, which they did. She allowed it to happen. She allowed the Minister of Energy to stand up to refute the numbers that he gave to the country, that 2,561 customers in Westmoreland were without electricity. And he still stood on a point of order and she allowed it. Fast forward to this week, she now comes to give a soliloquy about what is a point of order and how we are supposed to approach point of order.
Dr. Dayton Campbell, Member of Parliament for East Westmoreland. Chairman of the University Hospital of the West Indies Institutional Review Committee, Howard Mitchell, says mishaps at the institution could have cost lives. He was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday.
You don't have sufficient medication because you have not exercised control of your inventory, and drugs are not available for people. They will die. If you are careless about the equipment that you buy and maintaining that equipment, people will die. I'm not here to indict anybody. I'm saying that it is self-evident that negligence in a hospital has consequences above and beyond the loss of dollars.
Mitchell was appointed to lead a 6-member team to review the UHWI's operation in response to the improper use of the hospital's tax exemption status, detailed in a report from the Auditor General's Department. He presented those findings at a media briefing on Tuesday. Among those findings were issues concerning outdated legislation and ineffective oversight, along with deficiencies at the board and financial management levels. Mitchell says the issues affecting the UHWI must not be swept under the carpet.
We know that the standards at the hospital are not what they used to be and what they should be. We know that under a different administration, there were complaints of infant deaths. We know that there have been outbreaks of infection that have been ascribed to poor hygiene. So all of these things, we can't scrape them under the carpet. We have to acknowledge it and fix it and move forward. If we're going to be a nation that has self-respect, we have to respect our institutions, and we have to make sure that they're worthy of that respect. And if we, the public, keep it under the spotlight, then the internal stakeholders may very well be forced to live up to the standard and to respect themselves and to bring the hospital back to life.
Howard Mitchell, chairman of the UHWI's Institutional Review Committee. Meanwhile, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the committee's findings can help improve management processes and outcomes at other public health entities. Dr. Tufton was speaking at a media briefing in New Kingston on Tuesday afternoon.
We have institutions in health that have been great examples of fiduciary mandate and responsibility and output. The NHF comes to mind readily and have demonstrated, I think, that it is possible to follow the rules. But there are others, sometimes the regional health authorities, and there are others that have not done so. This is a teaching moment and a learning experience for me as minister, and I am looking at how do we leverage some of the experience and recommendations coming from this report to see how we can address a more systemic issue across the space.
In the meantime, the review committee, led by Howard Mitchell, has made 5 key recommendations to fix the problems dogging the UHWI. One recommendation is for the UHWI Act to be amended to consider, among other things, the size of the board, the definition of ex officio membership, and language alignment with the Customs Act.
I have asked that the chairman of the committee, Mr. Mitchell, the chairman of the board, and the Ministry of Health through the Office of the Permanent Secretary have an immediate discussion, immediate meeting in the coming days, to look at a roadmap around the recommendation, the legislative review of the Universities Act. That's a Government of Jamaica Ministry of Health mandate, and we intend to put whatever systems are in place to immediately commence a review of the legislation. But there are other things like the audit and the procurement rules and following those rules that the board will have to take on.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:17.
It's the Answers Amazing Sale. Get 50% off everything when you shop at Answers Gifts and Home and Answers for Children. It's the Answers Amazing Sale. Now until Saturday, May 9, 2026.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news, Venezuela told judges at the International Court of Justice on Wednesday that it rejects its jurisdiction in its century-old dispute with its neighbor Guyana over the Essequibo region. At issue is a 160,000 square kilometer border territory around the Essequibo River and an offshore area where significant discoveries of oil and gas have been made. Guyana brought the dispute to the World Court in The Hague in 2018. Guyana wants the court, which deals with the disputes between states, to confirm the border laid down in an 1899 arbitration between Venezuela and the then colony of British Guyana. According to the treaty, the territory belongs to Guyana. Venezuela on Wednesday dismissed the arbitral award as fraudulent and imposed by colonial forces is an example of gunboat diplomacy. A final judgment in the case is months away. Ruling of the ICJ are binding and without appeal, but the court has no way to enforce them itself, instead relying on the UN Security Council. International, China's foreign minister on Wednesday called for a comprehensive ceasefire in the Iran war. Minister Wang Yi spoke after a meeting with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, who was visiting Beijing for the first time since the war with the U.S. and Israel started. His comments could inject new energy into stalled efforts to end the 2-month conflict between the United States and Iran. China's close economic and political ties to Tehran give it a unique position of influence. The Trump administration is pressing China to use that relationship to urge the Islamic Republic to open the Strait of Hormuz. The Chinese minister's comments follow a statement by U.S. President Donald Trump that he was pausing his short-lived U.S. effort to guide stranded commercial vessels out of the strait in hopes that a deal could be finalized. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
From the biggest trucks to the biggest energy, Nationwide keeps it moving. If you love the vibes, come and lock in with us for real.
World boss, if a prison could stop me.
Join the Nationwide 90FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Practice. God, me say you watch you of me practice.
Attention bargain hunters and DIY lovers. Get ready for the Sherwin-Williams yard sale happening May 8 and 9, starting at 9 a.m. sharp. Location, Sherwin-Williams head office, White Marl, St. Catherine. We're clearing out the warehouse at unbelievable discounts. Perfect for your next home improvement project, refresh, or creative makeover. From quality paints to great finds, this is your chance to save big on trusted Sherwin-Williams products. Doors open at 9 a.m., so come early, May 8 and 9. Sherwin-Williams yard sale. Great products, great prices, don't miss it.
Time now for your morning sports. The president of Jamaica Basketball Association, Paulton Gordon, says local-based players will form the nucleus of the squad for their debut appearance at the Central American and Caribbean Games Under-20 Men's Basketball Tournament in the Dominican Republic from July 24 to August 8. Gordon says they're currently fine-tuning preparations.
Well, it's the very first time we're putting together an under-20 team for a tournament of this nature. Because of our recent ranking, we were elevated to this level of competition, of international competition. So we are just about to start preparation for the CAC Games. This is the end of July. A lot of the youngsters who will participate are coming off their under-19 competitions in the ISA tournament, and they probably will be the core of the team. So while we want to include a few overseas players, core of the team will be actually local-based players.
Jamaica has been drawn in Group B with Panama, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. Gordon says they'd love to get to the semifinals.
I certainly want to get to the semifinals. Tough draw. The Mexico, Puerto Rico, solid teams. Panama, who has a lot of their players who plays in the USA and has exposure and experience. And again, I say what we want to do is expose our young local-based players. And probably 70-80% of this team will be there. First time in international competition. So we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Paulton Gordon. Champions PSG and Bayern Munich will resume battle in European Champions League semi-final action on Wednesday. The two will meet at the Allianz Arena in Germany in the second leg, with PSG holding a 5-4 lead. The winners on aggregate will advance to the May 30 final in Budapest against Arsenal of England. The Gunners booked their passage after a 1-0 win over Spain's Atletico Madrid in their second leg of their semi-final on Tuesday to advance 2-1 on aggregate. Finally, in your morning sports, world #1 tennis player Aryna Sabalenka has warned that she's prepared to boycott Grand Slam events amid a dispute over prize money. Sabalenka, who earned £11 million last year on the court, is among players who have argued Grand Slam tournaments should provide stars with a greater share of their revenues. Sabalenka stressed that at some point, players who were going to boycott the four majors to push their case, and she's among a group of leading players pushing for an increase. The four-time Grand Slam champion had been among a group of the world's top 20 male and female players to release a statement criticizing the level of prize money on offer at this year's French Open. The French Open last month confirmed a 9.5% increase in prize money at Roland Garros, with the prize pool now at £52.6 million sterling. The men's and women's champions will earn £2.4 million, while the tournament has stressed more prize money is available to players who compete in the early rounds and are reliant on those sums to fund their seasons. And that's it for your morning sports.
Imagine designing something unique, something personal, something bigger than just a dream. A reality designed by you, just for you. With Sagicor Lifestyle Approved Retirement Scheme, you can design the life you want to live. With tax-deferred savings of up to 20% of your income, you'll have the opportunity to do what you've always wanted to do. A reality designed by you. Call 888-SAGICOR today. Conditions apply.
In business this morning, Saudi Arabia has posted a sharp rise in its budget deficit amid declining oil revenues due to the effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz. The kingdom's budget shortfall widened to 125.7 billion riyals, or $33 billion in the first 3 months of 2026. The latest budget figures released by the Saudi Ministry of Finance on Tuesday show rising government spending coincided with a fall in crude sales. Total government spending rose 20% to over 386 billion riyals year on year, while oil revenues fell 3% to nearly 145 billion riyals. The budget gap was more than double the shortfall posted for the same period last year, and up nearly 1/3 from the final quarter of 2025. The deficit marks a significant departure from the kingdom's financial outlook for the year. In December, Saudi officials projected a deficit of 65 billion riyals, or $17 billion for the entire 2026. By sector, economic resources was responsible for the biggest rise in government spending, increasing 52% year on year. Spending on general items rose 46%, while the military, infrastructure, and transport each jumped 26% in expenditures. Non-oil revenues rose by 2%, partly offsetting the drop in commodities sales. Also in business this morning, global oil prices have dropped following reports that the U.S. and Iran are close to a deal to end the war. Brent crude futures, the global benchmark, fell to below $102 a barrel after the reports. The price was over $108 earlier in the day. According to news outlet Axios, the U.S. believes it is getting close to a one-page document which will end the war and set up more detailed nuclear negotiations. Oil prices are still much higher than the $70 a barrel they were hovering around before the start of the U.S.-Israel war with Iran, which has caused production and transportation of oil in the region to slump. In foreign exchange trading, the Jamaican dollar has lost 28 cents and will open against the benchmark US dollar, selling for an average $158.41. Against the Canadian, the Jamaican has lost $1.75 and will open selling for an average $117.85. And finally, the Jamaican has gained $2.05 and will begin trading for an average $214.03 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:30.
Transgem Highways is having a 50% Mother's Day discount on T-Tag packages. Get yours from the teller at the toll booth for only $1,250, including a $500 toll credit from May 4 to May 30, 2026. When you get your T-Tag, top up to keep using it. Choose whichever method of topping up is most convenient for you. Go through quicker with a T-Tag every time on Transgem Highways.
Morning after morning, you've made Nationwide 90 FM part of your routine. So let's take this connection one step closer. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club and be part of it officially on Patreon.
Family, amazing family.
I was tired of my lady. We'd been together too long. Like a worn out recording of a favorite song. So while she lay there sleeping, I read the paper in bed. And in the personal columns, there was this letter I read. If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, if you're not into yoga, if you have half a brain, if you like making love at midnight in the dunes on the Cape, then I'm the love that you've looked for. Write to me and escape. About my lady, I know that sounds kinda mean, but me and my old lady have fallen into the same old routine. So I wrote to the paper, took out a personal ad, and though I'm nobody's poet, I thought it wasn't half bad. Yes, I like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. I'm not much into health food, I am into champagne. I've got to meet you by tomorrow noon and cut through all this red tape at a bar full of O'Malley's where we'll plan our escape. with high hopes, and she walked in the place. I knew her smile in an instant, I knew the curve of her face. It was my own lovely lady, and she said, oh, it's you. Then we laughed for a moment, and I said, I never knew that you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain and the feel of the ocean and the taste of champagne. If you like making love at midnight in the dunes of the Cape, you're the lady I've looked for. Come with me and escape.
Good morning. Welcome to Nationwide this morning, NTM. Thank you so much for coming on over and joining us this Wednesday morning. It is Wednesday, May 6th, 2026.
Good morning to you, Tana. Good morning to you, listeners. I'm here popping in on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you.
There will be a very happy camper in the chat this morning.
Yes,
Sandra?
yes, we indeed do. We indeed do. And, I was on the road yesterday, Tana, and I saw somebody who said, hey, it's my favorite station. and I have to be really happy when you see things like that, because it always brings joy. But who do we have listening this morning on their way to school, Tana?
Well, a very, very special person who is celebrating his birthday today. So I want to say a special good morning and a special shout out and a special happy birthday going out to Cirilo Fuentes. Good morning to you. You are 8 years old today. A happy birthday. Well, your birthday was on Sunday, so you turned 8 on Sunday. So belated happy birthday to you, Cirilo Fuentes. And it's coming from your mommy, Chantel, your auntie, your family, and your friends. All of your fam bam sending you belated happy birthday greetings. They're saying to you, we love you and we're proud of you. And we hear you are listening. You're on your way to school. So good morning to you, Cirilo Fuentes, one of our youngest NTMers, one of our youngest 4%ers, is listening in, celebrated his birthday on Sunday. So belated happy birthday to you, and we're wishing for you a wonderful day at school.
Indeed. Happy birthday to you, Cirilo.
Happy birthday.
Wow. We don't normally start with birthdays, Donna, but, it's one of those days, one of those listeners, and quickly, I think it's time for, it's that time, Donna. Mm-hmm. It's time for what's on my mind, and this morning I'm in the hot seat, and I don't think you can get hotter seats than this seat, based on everything that has been happening. And I dare say to you, as I start, Tana and listeners, that there has been a misconception by some of us that democracy was pretty. There has been a misconception that it should be the platitudes and the nice words and all of those things. But when I thought about the idea of democracy, Tana, listeners, the idea of democracy is disagreement, yet you'll have one side that will triumph at a particular time. That means that in any democratic society, you will have factions that disagree with each other. And that led me to ponder on the realities that exist now in our parliament, and I would say somewhat of a fracas that happened recently, and both individuals involved came to parliament last evening or yesterday afternoon, and they spoke at length in their own ways as it relates to the matters at hand. So I start like this. Member, I name you. Member, I name you. Those words, they were not meant to be comfortable. They were not meant to be soft. They were not meant to trend well on social media. And they are language, particular language, of parliamentary authority. And perhaps that is the problem, Tana. Jamaica has been so accustomed to this order masquerading as democracy that the enforcement of rules now feels offensive to some in the parliament. But let's be honest, Parliament was never meant to be street corner debate. Gordon House is not a political rally. It is the highest legislative chamber in the country, operating under Westminster tradition built on procedure, discipline, and respect for the chair. The criticism that I've heard now being directed at the Speaker raises an important question. Is the outrage truly about her conduct as Speaker? Or are we witnessing a deeper discomfort with authority finally being exercised in the House? And I ask that question, Tana, because I've been of the view that politicians are creatures of the society that they govern. Because what exactly did she do wrong? You know, the ceremonial mace is not a prop. Of course, persons are going to say vestiges of the past and we need to move away from the crowd. I agree. But we have not done that, which means that as it stands, it's not a prop. It's literally the symbol of authority in Parliament itself. I'm not here to defend the mace, but under Westminster tradition, interfering with it, treated seriously because it strikes at the legitimacy and order of the House. And before anyone believes firmness from the chair is somehow unique to Jamaica or excessive, you've probably seen one of these videos before, Tana, but I'm going to play this clip for you to see what happened 3 years ago in the British Parliament.
Shut up a minute. What's it called? Come. Give me the word in. Order! I say to the honourable gentleman, give me the seat. I will not tolerate such behaviour. If you want to go out now, but if you stand again, I'll lord you out. Make your mind up. Either shut up and get out. I warn the honourable member that if there's protesting carrying out to shut up a minute. Does somebody want to at once? Give me the name. Order. Sit.
Even in the United Kingdom, the birthplace of the parliamentary system that Jamaica inherited, speakers have forcefully disciplined members for disorderly conduct, including bluntly telling members to shut up or leave the chamber when decorum collapses. Because firmness from the chair is not dictatorship, I'll say that again, firmness from the chair is not dictatorship, it's literally parliamentary governance. Now, that's not saying that we agree with everything the chair does in Parliament, but we're saying that there has to be firmness from the chair. Now, let me also make this very clear. Angela Brown-Burke, the member from Southwest St. Andrew yesterday, she was absolutely right to enter Parliament yesterday and make her arguments forcefully. That is democracy. That is the role of any member in the House. So when she stood up and she did a soliloquy, I thought back to a couple of years ago where there were rumors of her taking over from Mark Golding, and I said, what a good speech. But no matter how good that speech was yesterday, Member Brown-Burke cannot absolve herself from the realities of what occurred. And I listened to what she said. Was it apologetic? No, not really. But again, that is democracy. Disagreement is a part of it. And that says, though, that we have a deeper problem, Tana. A problem generally with authority and going about challenging authority in the right way. We'd prefer if it's a case that we just challenge authority in any way. And if that's what happens in our Parliament, just imagine what happens in the rest of our society. I'll say this. Having the right to do something does not automatically make the action correct. Rights and judgment are not always the same thing. And I dare say to any member, not just in Parliament, but whether you're in school, work, wherever you are, you can have your rights, but it is your judgment that will set you apart from the rest. Because you can have your right to speak, and you can undermine the dignity of whatever institution that you are part of in how you choose to exercise the right. You can passionately disagree without escalating to disorder in the chamber. It's just the reality. So Too much people want a speaker that's ceremonial, but not authoritative. I don't know what it is about the attacks on Mrs. Holness when she wants a number of things. She wants Parliament to be structured. She doesn't want the disorder. She wants people to follow the rules. And I've listened because she sounds like she has a long-term dream for what Parliament should be. I remember a couple years ago when they said Parliament needs to start on time at 2. Mm-hmm. Do you remember back in the day, Tana, when you sit down and Parliament starts whenever? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you think back to that, and it says to you that there is a longer term vision. Now again, democracy is not pretty. They won't always agree, but one thing is certain, that disorder does not help democracy. And I'm saying this to say, no member is above the rules of the House. No member, not government, not opposition, not senior parliamentarians, not seasoned politicians, not even the Prime Minister. And once the authority of the chairs open a challenge without consequence, the institution itself will begin to weaken. But I end on this. Democracy was never meant to be pretty. Democracy still requires rules, still requires restraint, and it still requires respect for the very institutions, even when emotions are high and disagreement is at the forefront of minds. And some will say that, we need to preserve the dignity of Parliament, but if we're going to do that, the Speaker has to stand up and say, enough is enough. So member, I name you. Member, I name you in society, where you challenge authority just because you can, not because you need to. Member, I name you to understand that it's not just about the will to speak and the ability to speak, but your judgment. Member, I name you because despite democracy not being pretty, democracy still needs to have its dignity. And that's what's on my mind.
Mayberry Investments Limited's new secured public bond offering offers a lucrative fixed interest rate of 10.50%. The time by Mayberry Investments Limited is...
It's 6:47.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life: savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is...
It's 26 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 26 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, and 21 degrees Celsius in the cool hills of Mandeville.
Mega Mart, best value by far. You can get it all here at Mega Mart. Mega Mart, best value by far. You can get it all here at Mega Mart.
This station raised me. It gave me a voice. And if Nationwide has ever meant something to you, come on in. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
When you hear those horns, you know what time it is. It's time for Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Good morning to you, Ludlow.
Morning, Sanjay. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. You?
Welcome back. Good. And to you, Tana.
Good morning.
And everyone there in the studios. And just to highlight what's happening, there are gaps along the boulevard. If you're coming from the 6 miles area, there are gaps there along the boulevard. But just remember, there are certain points that you're going to have build-ups just at the intersection of Mullines and Washington Boulevard. And then going further out, you'll notice a build-up of traffic going just in the vicinity of that slip road to get onto Reddills Road. And then from there you move freely again until you get to Dunrobin, where there's a build-up of traffic there. Constant Spring Road, it's a steady flow going down. On the other side, Sheltered Road onto Waterloo, it's steady, and building in the vicinity of Waterloo, going across the Trafalgar, half a Tree Square, going into half a, in that vicinity, along the Oak Road side, it's building also. And if you're on Mullines Road, coming towards South Oden Avenue via East Park Road, you're going to notice some build-ups there. It's our first report for the morning until about 7:20. It's back to you, Andre.
Thank you, Ludlow, for that report.
Word of the day is spelled Lickety hyphen SPLIT. So it's spelled Lickety hyphen SPLIT.
Lickety split. Lickety split. Lickety split.
Lickety split is your word of the day. Lickety split. And it means at great speed or simply rapidly. Lickety split, to travel lickety split, to travel at great speed, to travel rapidly. Lickety split is your word of the day. Dictionary.com telling us that's an Americanism dating back to 1835, recorded between 1835 and 1845, lickety split. And to use it in a sentence or two, if you don't get here lickety split, you're going to miss the start of the movie. She finished her homework lickety split so she could go out and play. The kids ran lickety split toward the ice cream truck. He had the car fixed and back on the road lickety split. Or another one for you, we need to pack up and leave lickety split. Lickety split is your word of the day, spelt again Lickety hyphen SPLIT. At great speed or rapidly. In the minutes that we have before we go to our features and the news at the top of the hour, Red Boss says, what a word. Yeah, lickety split is your word of the day. Also should say today, May 6th, is Teachers Day. So want to say, yeah, happy Teachers Day to all the amazing teachers out there. I see Everbless in the chat. Let me just pull this back up. Everbless was saying happy Teachers Day to the teachers at Magotty High School, past and present. Everbless sending happy Teachers Day to all the teachers of Magotty High School there in St. Elizabeth, past and present. And I know that we have at least one teacher here in our YouTube chat, Carlene Smith. So good morning to you, Carlene. A happy Teachers Day to you. I know that you are a fabulous one in the classroom. So happy Teachers Day to you. If there are any other teachers in our YouTube chat this morning, all our NTM teachers out there, heading on your way to school this morning, good morning to you, a special good morning to you. Happy Teachers Day. What would we be without our educators?
Yeah, my mom is a teacher, and I say happy Teachers Day to my mom and all the teachers that have groomed me, the ones that loved me and the ones that didn't love me so much. I'm fine. Happy Teachers Day. It's one of the hardest tasks, I will say, Tana, and also one of the most rewarding ones.
Yeah.
I taught at one point too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. I think many of us are teachers in our own way, but to those who day to day are in the classroom carrying out teaching and learning, what a task you have on your hand. So we say to you, a happy Teachers Day, especially now, Jermaine says, indeed. Yeah, you have quite a task on your hand. And Carlene says, thank you, TT. And Kingsley, so good morning to you as well, Kingsley, or YouTuber Kingsley, who is a teacher. Happy Teachers Day to you as well. A little later on.
Holland High teachers are bigging them up. I see it in the chat as well. Yeah. Good morning to you, Juliet Sanchez. I see you in the chat as well.
Yeah, man. I hope you count for this word, aren't you? All right. So a little later on, we'll hop on over in the chat again, and you guys will get an opportunity to shout out your teachers, and we'll announce them on air. But we take a break now for features at the top of the hour, the news.
Vaccines are products designed to trigger protective immune responses and prepare the immune system to fight future infections from disease-causing agents. In Pet's World today, why should your pet be vaccinated? Vaccinations protect your pet from highly contagious and deadly diseases and improve your pet's overall quality of life. Here are 4 reasons to vaccinate your pet. Vaccinations prevent many pet illnesses. They can help avoid costly treatments for diseases that can be prevented. They prevent diseases that can be passed between animals and also from animals to people. And diseases prevalent in wildlife, such as rabies and distemper, can infect unvaccinated pets. Do vaccinations ensure protection? For most pets, vaccination is effective in preventing future disease or decreasing the severity of clinical signs. It is important to follow the vaccination schedule provided by your veterinarian to reduce the possibility of a gap in protection. Why do puppies and kittens require a series of vaccinations? Very young animals are highly susceptible to infectious disease because their immune system is not yet fully mature. The first dose of a vaccine serves to prime the animal's immune system against the virus or bacteria, while subsequent doses help further stimulate the immune system to produce the important antibodies needed for long-term protection. How often will your pet need to be vaccinated? Many vaccinations provide adequate immunity when administered every few years. Others may require more frequent schedules to maintain an acceptable level of immunity that will continually protect your pet. Your veterinarian will determine a vaccination schedule that's appropriate for your pet. Do vaccinations have side effects? It is common for pets to experience some or all of the following mild side effects after receiving a vaccine, usually starting within hours of the vaccination. If these side effects last for more than a day or 2 or cause your pet significant discomfort, it is important for you to contact your veterinarian. Discomfort and swelling at the vaccinated area, mild fever, decreased appetite and activity. More serious but less common side effects such as allergic reactions may occur within minutes to hours after vaccination. Seek veterinary care immediately if any of these signs develop. Persistent vomiting or diarrhea, itchy skin that may break out into hives, severe coughing or difficulty breathing. A small, firm swelling under the skin may develop at the site of a recent vaccination, and this should start to disappear within a couple weeks. If it persists more than 3 weeks or seems to be getting larger, you should contact your veterinarian. Always inform your veterinarian if your pet has had prior reactions to any vaccine or medication. If in doubt, wait for 30 to 60 minutes following vaccination before taking your pet home. That's it for Pet's World today.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
There are 2 ways to eat with a knife and a fork: the American way and the British or European way. This is Lifestyle Pages on how to eat with a knife and a fork. Is the American way correct? Some people think that the American crisscross method of cutting and eating is correct. Some people believe that the English or European or continental way, with a fork in the left hand and the knife in the right hand, is correct. In comparing the 2 methods, it comes down to a matter of choice. In the American way, after cutting up all or some of the food, the knife is placed to the right side on the plate, and the fork is then switched to the right hand. Then you lift the cut food, meat or rice, etc., to the mouth. The fork is placed back with the food until the knife is needed again to cut more food, and then it is returned to the side on the plate. The fork is transferred to the right hand to begin eating again. Some people find the British or European method of using the knife already in the right hand to place cut food onto the fork with the teeth prongs or tines turned down, and then the food is placed in the mouth. Others prefer to turn the teeth or tines of the fork turned up like a shovel to place the food into the mouth. No method is right or wrong. I'm Valerie, and those were Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Distracted driving costs lives. Keep your eyes on the road and arrive alive. The time brought to you by the Jamaica Information Service is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 for this morning, Wednesday, May 6, 2026, JLP accuses opposition PNP of seeking to denigrate House Speaker Juliet Holness. The PNP's Dr. Angela Brown-Burke remains defiant in controversial Mace incident. UHWI Institutional Review Committee says recently uncovered breaches at the hospital could have cost lives. And in international news, China calls for a comprehensive ceasefire in U.S.-Iran war. The details after the break.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
With the details, I'm Tona Thomas. Chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party's Communication Unit, Senator Abka Fitz-Henley, is accusing the opposition PNP of seeking to denigrate House Speaker Juliet Holness. Senator Fitz-Henley made the claim in a statement to the media on Tuesday afternoon. Siobhan Campbell reports.
Senator Fitz-Henley says the opposition believes that the fact it has 28 members in the House of Representatives means it and not the House Speaker is in charge of the proceedings in Parliament.
I have been observing parliamentary proceedings in Jamaica for over 2 decades now, and the level of lack of discipline and disregard for the guidelines of the Parliament that is being displayed by this current Mark Golding-led opposition PNP is the most severe I've seen it for a long time. The opposition has sought to turn the most Honourable Juliet Holness, Speaker of the House, into a scapegoat because they cannot get away unfettered with this level of heightened lack of discipline, which they insist on imposing on the parliamentary proceedings.
Senator Fitz-Henley says the House Speaker is the victim of a deliberate campaign of disrespect and denigration by opposition MPs. He says opposition MPs are taking their cue from their leader, Mark Golding.
What is most disappointing is that the opposition leader has led the way in the display of lack of discipline. Last week, he was first on his feet when the Marshal was directed to do his duties, which he has authority to under the standing orders of the Parliament. And this week, he insisted on raising a point of order, accusing a minister of misleading the Parliament. When those of us who are in the Parliament and observe Parliament know that is not provided for in the standing orders which govern the operations of the Parliament.
Senator Fitz-Henley says the defense by the PNP of the Mace shenanigans of Southwest St. Andrew MP Dr. Angela Brown-Burke is additional evidence that the opposition believes it's above the rules of Parliament.
What is clear is that because the opposition cannot get their way and trespass upon the guidelines concerning how a good functioning Parliament should operate, they have sought to denigrate and bully the Speaker. I actually heard an opposition member refer to Mrs. Holness whilst Dr. Holness was making his contribution to the budget debate in the most derogatory and insulting manner, a word not fit for airplay that some people use to refer to women. Their conduct has been most obscene and should be condemned.
Senator Fitz-Henley says the opposition must be told that its attempts to undermine the rules of Parliament are damaging to the democracy.
Every parliamentarian who takes the time to look at the standing orders knows that a personal statement shall not be made concerning a matter that is controversial. Philip Paulwell knows this, Mark Golding knows this, Mrs. Brown-Burke knows this. However, they have put out a statement seeking to denigrate the Speaker and the Parliament of Jamaica for not allowing them to breach the very guidelines of the Parliament. The statement put out by the PNP is another indicator of their feeling that they are above the law, above the guidelines which govern the Parliament. That statement they put out is a total disgrace.
Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, Southwest St. Andrew MP Dr. Angela Brown-Burke remains defiant, declaring that she will not be silenced as an elected parliamentarian. Dr. Brown-Burke used a section of her presentation in the sectoral debate on Tuesday to respond to the chain of events triggered by her decision to remove the ceremonial mace from its position during a meeting of MPs in the House last week. Kimon Thompson reports.
I will not be trampled on. That's the defiant message from Dr. Angela Brown-Burke in her response to the firestorm created by her mace shenanigans inside Gordon House last Tuesday. Invoking the spirit of the country's national heroes, the Southwest St. Andrew MP says attempts are being made to silence her inside the House.
We are descendants of Paul Bogle. We are descendants of Sam Sharp. What that means is that many of us who are sitting in these hallowed chambers, in this house, are only here because there were individuals who dared to buck the system. Because there were individuals who said, I will not be treated as a non-entity. We cannot sit in the chambers where persons use the bully pulpit to say just about anything they want, and we have to sit silently.
The PNP issued a statement on Tuesday evening criticizing House Speaker Juliet Holness for failing to acknowledge or allow a personal explanation submitted earlier by Dr. Brown-Burke. That personal explanation was to allow Dr. Brown-Burke to address matters of personal and public importance through the established parliamentary process. According to the PNP, the House Speaker was motivated by bias in not allowing Dr. Brown-Burke to make the statement. Section 18 of the Standing Orders, the rules which govern Parliament, says while a personal explanation may be made with the leave of the Speaker, such a statement cannot be made about a controversial matter. During her sectoral debate presentation, Dr. Brown-Burke demanded that members of the House be treated like adults.
That we teach children differently from adults. We talk about pedagogy and andragogy. Because adults are self-directed learners. Because adults want their experiences to be validated in how we deal with them. This is no different in the chamber. No one gets to come into the chamber regardless of who you are, to pontificate and to scold the rest of us without taking responsibility for your own lack of decorum and disrespectful behavior.
In an interview last week, Dr. Brown-Burke accepted that her behavior was unparliamentary, but she declined to offer an apology on Tuesday.
I have never been a submissive female. It's too late for me to be that now. It's too late for me to be that now. So you will not get a submissive Angela in the chambers. No. However, I respect my colleague. But there's a line I draw. If I come before you and every day you disrespect me. That's right. Them say one day the bucket bottom I go drop out. And when it drops out, those who have the authority to punish, go ahead. Go ahead. History will absolve.
Kimon Thompson, Nationwide News.
And the leader of opposition business, Philip Paulwell, has chided the Speaker for not acknowledging the personal explanation request submitted by Dr. Brown-Burke. He was speaking during a media briefing on Tuesday.
I wanted to make that the member from St. Andrew wanted to speak in the same way that the Speaker was speaking. And in fact, a letter was sent to the Speaker seeking approval for a personal statement to be made today in relation to the matter. There was no response from the Speaker to the member. And so again, for me, this was a continuation of an atmosphere of unfairness, unreasonableness, and partisanship being displayed at the highest level.
However, Nationwide News understands that the request was rejected by the clerk to the Houses of Parliament, Colleen Lowe, as it was not in keeping with the standing orders. It's further understood that the House Speaker was not initially copied on Dr. Brown-Burke's request. It was only forwarded by the clerk after Lowe had substantially dealt with the matter and replied to the Southwest St. Andrew MP. Also speaking at the briefing, East Westmoreland MP Dr. Dayton Campbell accused Mrs. Holness of not restraining government members in equal measure.
One is forced to protest because of the palpable nature of the biases that are evidenced each week. Last week, the Speaker allowed the leader of government business to stand on a point of order when I made the point that the government had declared that the ground zero for hurricane was in Black River, which they did. She allowed it to happen. She allowed the Minister of Energy to stand up to refute the numbers that he gave to the country, that 2,561 customers in Westmoreland were without electricity. And he still stood on a point of order and she allowed it. Fast forward to this week, she now comes to give a soliloquy about what is a point of order and how we are supposed to approach point of order.
Dr. Dayton Campbell, Member of Parliament for East Westmoreland. Now, the committee undertaking an institutional review of the University Hospital of the West Indies, UHWI, says breaches uncovered at the institution could have cost lives. Committee Chairman Howard Mitchell was a guest on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday.
You don't have sufficient medication because you have not exercised control of your inventory, and drugs are not available for people, they will die. If you are careless about the equipment that you buy and maintaining that equipment, people will die. I'm not here to indict anybody. I'm saying that it is self-evident that negligence in a hospital has consequences above and beyond the loss of dollars.
Mitchell was appointed to lead a 6-member team to review the UHWI's operation in response to the improper use of the hospital's tax exemption status, detailed in a report from the Auditor General's Department. He presented those findings at a media briefing on Tuesday. Among those findings were issues concerning outdated legislation and ineffective oversight, along with deficiencies at the board and financial management levels. Mitchell says that the issues affecting the UHWI must not be swept under the carpet.
We know that the standards at the hospital are not what they used to be and what they should be. We know that under a different administration, there were complaints of infant deaths. We know that there have been outbreaks of infection that have been ascribed to poor hygiene. So all of these things, we can't scrape them under the carpet. We have to acknowledge it and fix it and move forward. If we're going to be a nation that has self-respect, we have to respect our institutions and we have to make sure that they're worthy of that respect. And if we, the public, keep it under the spotlight, then the internal stakeholders may very well be forced to live up to the standard and to respect themselves and to bring the hospital back to life.
Howard Mitchell, chairman of the UHWI's Institutional Review Committee. Meanwhile, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the committee's findings can help improve management processes and outcomes at other public health entities. Dr. Tufton was speaking at a media briefing in New Kingston on Tuesday afternoon.
We have institutions in health that have been great examples of fiduciary mandate and responsibility and output. The NHF comes to mind readily and have demonstrated, I think, that it is possible to follow the rules. But there are others, sometimes the regional health authorities, and there are others that have not done so. This is a teaching moment and a learning experience for me as minister, and I am looking at how do we leverage some of the experience and recommendations coming from this report to see how we can address a more systemic issue across the space.
Meanwhile, the review committee, led by Howard Mitchell, has made 5 key recommendations to fix the problems dogging the UHWI. One recommendation is for the UHWI Act to be amended to consider, among other things, the size of the board, the definition of ex officio membership, and language alignment with the Customs Act.
I have asked that the chairman of the committee, Mr. Mitchell, the chairman of the board, and the Ministry of Health through the Office of the Permanent Secretary have an immediate discussion, immediate meeting in the coming days, to look at a roadmap around the recommendation, the legislative review of the Universities Act. That's a Government of Jamaica Ministry of Health mandate, and we intend to put whatever systems are in place to immediately commence a review of the legislation. But there are other things like the audit and the procurement rules and following those rules that the board will have to take on.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness. In international news, China's foreign minister on Wednesday called for a comprehensive ceasefire in the Iran war. Minister Wang Yi spoke after meeting with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, who was visiting Beijing for the first time since the war with the U.S. and Israel started. His comments could inject new energy into stalled efforts to end the 2-month conflict between the United States and Iran. China's close economic and political ties to Tehran give it a unique position of influence. The Trump administration is pressing China to use that relationship to urge the Islamic Republic to open the Strait of Hormuz. The Chinese minister's comments follow a statement by U.S. President Donald Trump that he was pausing his short-lived U.S. effort to guide stranded commercial vessels out of the strait in hopes that a deal could be finalized. And that's it for the news at 7.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:15.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Outaris, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5, or Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne's Bay. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
26 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, also 26 out west in Montego Bay. In Mandeville, it's 21 degrees Celsius.
The Philharmonic Orchestra of Jamaica presents Encore, a harmonic reawakening, captivating music from the classical masters, movies, and our homeland. Saturday, May 16 and Sunday, May 17 at the Little Theatre. Conductor Franklin E. Halliburton, guest soloist Sashika Brown. Tickets $5,000 pre-sold, $6,000 at the gate. Reserved box seats $7,500. Tickets at Fontana Pharmacy, Waterloo, and Sovereign, and the Music Mart. The Philharmonic Orchestra of Jamaica in concert, May 16 and 17 at the Little Theatre.
District 81 Caribbean Toastmasters Conference comes to Jamaica May 13 to 17 at the AC Hotel in Kingston under the theme Caribbean Roots Igniting a Bold Future. Register today at Eventbrite for a raft of educational sessions, speech contest, opening ceremony, gala presentation, and more. Caribbean Toastmasters Conference, where Caribbean leaders and speakers level up and where you can too. Join us, be empowered and inspired. For information, call 876-325-5383.
That time of the morning when we get our second report of Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Yes, morning again, Tony, our listeners and everyone there tuned in, all our passengers traveling at the moment and our guests, those visitors, yes, morning. Well, I can tell you, Tony, that certain areas I had mentioned here in respect of the Boulevard, Dunrobin, Waterloo, Port, well, it's really tight now in terms of Dunrobin to get onto Constance Spring Road, all the way down into Harper Tree, quite active, busy, bumper to bumper going into Harper Tree Square. Upper Waterloo, offshore to Road, there's the same thing going through Kingsway, going across the Hope Road there. Busy with traffic on Hope Road in both directions, really busy, especially if you're going into the Harper Tree Road and in the vicinity of Hope Arden Road. Trafalgar Road also has its traffic, and then when you go around to Barbican Road, you're going to notice traffic there also. It's especially coming out of Acadia Drive to get onto Barbican Road. Likewise, Rust Lights, yes, a long line of traffic there on Rust Lights and takes you onto Barbican Road. And Barbican Road, all the way around to East Kings Road, you're going to also have traffic. The other areas that has some traffic is really coming up Mountain View Avenue, all the way up northbound to get onto Arthur Wint. You also notice some traffic at the intersection where you have Deanery Road and Langston Road. By and large, going all the way up to Mountain View, at that intersection of Mountain View and Olop Road, there is traffic. There's also traffic going all the way up in the Lickeney area, so you won't escape the traffic at this particular point in time. And I always remind you that once you're in the Harborview area, especially coming from the Bull Bay area, 7 miles to the Harborview roundabout, there is also traffic. So there we go. The second report for the morning, and as usual, drive safe at Street Smart. Your safety is our concern. Over to you, Tona.
Thank you so much, Ludlow. That was the second report of Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Up next, the front page.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning, turning our attention now to the House of Representatives. Southwest St. Andrew MP Dr. Angela Brown Burke remains defiant, declaring that she will not be silenced as an elected parliamentarian. Dr. Brown Burke used a section of her presentation in the sectoral debate on Tuesday to respond to the chain of events triggered by her decision to remove the ceremonial mace from its position during a meeting of MPs in the House last week. However, chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party's communication unit, Senator Abka Fitzhenley, is accusing the opposition PNP of seeking to denigrate House Speaker Juliet Holness. Senator Fitzhenley says the opposition believes that the fact that it has 28 members in the House of Representatives means it and not the House Speaker is in charge of the proceedings in Parliament. We've been joined this morning by Leader of Government Business in the House of Representatives and MP for Southwest St. Elizabeth, Floyd Green. Good morning to you.
Morning, Tana. Morning to all your listeners and viewers.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. Let's get right into it, Mr. Green. Now, was Dr. Brown Burke, to your mind and based on what you've gathered so far, disregarded regarding her request to make a personal statement, or were the standing orders followed?
The standing orders are followed to the T. I think that is the challenge that we seem to be having. When you become a member of Parliament, clearly everybody is sent there by their constituency. You are a representative, you are elected. So we do understand that people come into the House on the basis of votes. But once we get into the House, it is operated by a rules-based system, which are the standing orders. And our standing orders are very clear. Whatever you may make of them, they're very clear a number of points. So let's take, a personal statement. Mm-hmm. A personal statement is only given, firstly, with leave by the Speaker. So you have to apply and the Speaker has to agree. And in circumstances that will not bring forward a controversial matter. It literally says that. Now, nobody would look on and would argue that what would have happened with the House in relation to the mace being tampered with and taken up, and the disruption that was caused by that, and then the disruption that was caused after by a member who was rightfully asked to withdraw, refusing to withdraw, and then who was named in keeping with the standing orders and then suspended in keeping with the standing orders, refusing to withdraw. Nobody would say that that is not a controversial matter. And you can understand, because a personal statement is not to stoke further controversy. It is to give a member an opportunity in non-controversial circumstances to provide an explanation to the House. And normally has to do with a matter that does not necessarily concern the House, but is an external matter that they believe some information needs to be provided. So it was in keeping with the standing orders that the personal statement was not allowed.
Now, in this statement from the opposition yesterday, the PNP says the opposition is appalled by the Speaker's failure to acknowledge and facilitate a personal statement. The statement says the personal explanation was formally submitted this morning, meaning yesterday, Tuesday morning, many hours ahead of today's sitting of the House of Representatives, but was neither acknowledged nor allowed to be delivered. Now, you spoke to the aspect of statements, how personal statements can be delivered. If they're controversial, then the Speaker will rule about not having those delivered on the House of the on the parliamentary floor. But what about the acknowledgement aspect? The PNP is making issue about the statement not even being acknowledged.
This is a red herring by the PNP. This is trying to get people to look the other way than egregious breach of procedure by one of their members, who, although externally has said she acknowledges wrongdoing, has not honored the dignity of the House by proffering an apology. And as you can see, by all the utterances that were made yesterday, no apology was proffered. So this is truly a sort of look the other way, because the rules are clear. I think one of the challenges is to come to terms with the fact that the Speaker can say no. The Speaker is empowered to not allow you. And those are the rules of order of the House. So we can go to a number of them. When it comes to speaking in the House, 32, the standing orders, it is the Speaker who is solely responsible for determining if somebody's speech is irrelevant, if somebody is extremely repetitious. And if the Speaker so determines, then the Speaker can say, you must stop speaking because you are repeating what has been said by somebody already, that point has already been made, or you're speaking about something that is irrelevant to the debate before us. The Speaker is so empowered to do. Additionally, it is the Speaker who gives you the authority to speak. And it's very unfortunate that the opposition has tried to craft this as a situation where they have not been getting the opportunity to speak. The same member who complains about not being acknowledged on that occasion would have spoken on numerous occasions before in this same debate about Nara and how the system operates. And again, the Senator says it, when you catch the eye of the Speaker will acknowledge you. The Speaker is going through, as chairman, a committee process where somebody is directly engaging her, the person who is leading, taking the bill, and she was engaging that, and then somebody may press their microphone. Now, there's no sound when the microphone is pressed. And normally, the Speaker may not see. And what regular members do, they may acknowledge to the leader of their side of the House. So in my instance, as leader of government business, I have had members who have said, Minister, I'm trying to speak, right? And I say, Speaker, you missed that person. And the same procedure can be followed on the opposite side. So if you press your mind and you're not originally acknowledged, in fact, we've had the Speaker take a matter, as in put it to the vote, and then somebody said they had up their mic and the speaker recognized that she did not see, as a member of the opposition, and the speaker go back to take the point that they were making, right? But the challenge that people have sometimes is that if the speaker decides, no, she will not go back because, as the standing order says, the vote has been put and that ends the matter and you move on, then people believe that the speaker cannot tell them no. And that is the challenge that we're having in the House. The speaker, the authority of the speaker is consistently challenged for not that she's acting outside of the standing orders, but because people want to do what they want when they want. And no organization, no parliament can operate like that.
Your counterpart on the other side, the leader of opposition business in the House, Philip Powell, yesterday he described it as an atmosphere of continued atmosphere of partisanship. To the aspect of the sitting where after the speaker said what she had to say on the ceremonial mace matter, Philip Powell stood up, it seems, to respond to what the speaker had said and was asked to stand down. Was that in order?
Absolutely, and again, the members know this. The speaker at the start of every sitting has the latitude to make a statement and to also rule on a matter that she may not have ruled on before. Or he, the speaker, was a man. When the speaker gives a statement, there's no right to reply. There is no right to get up and say, let me explain, speaker. The speaker has given a statement and then we move on with the business of the House. There are other ways. Motions can be moved if one feels so strongly about a matter, and then those motions can be put to the House. Again, if the matter is non-controversial, then one can look to make a public statement. But the reality is that there's no response, and Member Warmington rightfully got up and pointed out there's no response. I'll give you another case in point. The Speaker was at pains yesterday to explain to members, having recognized that people are misusing the point of order, to explain to members that there are two tranches for a point of order. One is whether the point of order falls in the rules. So if somebody has done something that is outside of the rules that govern debate or speeches, for example, raising a judicial matter or being offensive or insulting, and yes, that is there, even though we don't pay much mind. Somebody can rise on a point of order and say, in accordance with rule XYZ, the member is out of order because they are not complying with this rule. And the speaker can rule on that point of order. And if the speaker says, I agree with you, then the person has to withdraw that comment. That's one limb. The other limb is that somebody can rise on a point of order, asking the member to yield because there's something they want to clarify or they want to expound upon. In that instance, it is for the member to yield. So if I'm making a presentation and somebody gets up and says point of order, and it's not a matter in relation to the rules, then I determine whether I want to stop my presentation to yield to them. And again, I can say no and move on. And the speaker was at pains to explain that. But despite the explanation, she had to take the additional step to invite the opposition members into her office to further explain to them what she was saying. When they came back, they had nobody raised another issue, right? Nobody raised, although I've heard people on news saying X, Y, and Z. When they came back in the House, nobody raised another issue because, these rules are clear. It's not that there is ambiguity and the speaker is doing something that she is not empowered to do. It's just that the PNP wants to have its own way in the House, and it cannot be allowed.
A final one, because we're up on the time. I'm going to play this clip for you from the East Westmoreland MP, Dr. Dayton Campbell. His take on how the speaker is conducting herself in her chair, saying that the speaker is not restraining government members in equal measure. Take a listen and have you respond to this.
One is forced to protest because of the palpable nature of the biases that are evidenced each week. Last week, the Speaker allowed the leader of government business to stand on a point of order when I made the point that the government had declared that the ground zero for hurricane was in Black River, which they did. She allowed it to happen. She allowed the Minister of Energy to stand up to refute the numbers that he gave to the country, that 2,561 customers in Westmoreland were without electricity. And he still stood on a point of order, and she allowed it. Fast forward to this week, she now comes to give a soliloquy about what is a point of order and how we are supposed to approach point of order.
Again, what the member has said is to completely portray something that I just explained as something that the Speaker has done wrong, and he is wrong on that point. So let's go to the direct point. As I indicated, Turner, there are two tranches of a point of order. If I get up and I say point of order, and the member yields to my point of order without the Speaker having to rule on my point of order, then it falls into the second tranche. So I got up because the member was factually misleading the House, and I indicated that I had a point of order, and the member Campbell, yielded to me. In other words, took his seat and allowed me to make the point. And the same thing would have happened when Member Paz got up. They blame the Speaker for that, but the Speaker has nothing to do with that. And that's what the Speaker was at pains to explain to them. Again, the Prime Minister intervened last week and said, guys, you're using a point of order wrongly, right? And the Speaker, again, was at pains to say there are two tranches. One she rules on. She did not rule and give the government a go-ahead and not allow the opposition. That's not the case. The other one, the member has to yield, right? So if you're calling on the Speaker to rule, which when the members got up yesterday, the Speaker said, are you making a point of order that is the member is speaking outside of the rules? Share the point so I can rule on it. And as I said, the Speaker, to show how accommodating the Speaker is, the Speaker took the members, I think it was Member Dawes and Member Campbell. In her office to speak about it. The last point I'll make, the Speaker has also been very strong on government members. The Speaker has told us to stop when we're making points of order that she believes are not in keeping, right? The Speaker has cut off the time, including cutting the time of the Prime Minister. Speaker has been very strong on that. So this fallacy that the Speaker is not even-handed is not true.
We have to leave it there. Wish we had more time, but certainly these matters will continue to make public discourse. Floyd Green, the leader of government business in the House and the MP for Southwest St. Elizabeth. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you, Donna.
All right, take a break here on Nationwide this morning. We'll be back with more.
Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life. What we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good.
Jamaica, stop the killing and give up the guns. Just live good now.
The time brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace is
7:36.
Imagine designing something unique, something personal, something bigger than just a dream. A reality designed by you, just for you. With Sagicor Lifestyle Approved Retirement Scheme, you can design the life you want to live. With tax-deferred savings of up to 20% of your income, you'll have the opportunity to do what you've always wanted to do. A reality designed by you. Call 888 Sagicor today. Conditions apply.
Don't wait for the symptoms start show. HIV test free. Make sure you know. Me take me test. Me get the news. Me take my meds. Me can't lose. Family there, support there too. We strong, we bold life and live right through. Live bold test early. Test the HIV. No, it's not a smooth surely. Me take me test. Me get the news. Me take my meds. Me can't lose. Free testing is available at health centers island-wide.
A message by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning, turning our attention now to the Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, Darrell Vaz, to get some more perspectives in relation to his presentation in the House of Representatives yesterday in the continuation of the sectoral debates. Welcome to Nationwide this morning, Minister.
Morning to you, morning to listeners.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning.
The ministry is now energy, telecommunications, and transport.
And
no
transport.
More science. No more science.
Right. Minister, let's begin here. Yesterday, you provided the latest figures in relation to the JPS's restoration efforts, and you said that in Westmoreland, there are 1,283 households still without electricity, and in St. Elizabeth, 60. Which communities are these?
I don't have the exact communities on me as we speak, but basically, as I said in the speech, the areas that are outstanding would be those that are pretty much off the beaten track and obviously have greater challenges for access in the interiors. So it wouldn't be the major townships or the major thoroughfares. It would be more the interiors of those parishes.
And has JPS given a timeline for restoration for these?
Yes, they're working towards the end of May, but they've been having significant challenges with weather. They've lost 17 days due to weather. It starts raining down there anytime from midday, right through the afternoon, almost every day. But the good thing is that they have continued to make great strides, led by the President Hugh Grant. And as I said yesterday, it was 1,300, but of that 1,300, only 800 already for restoration. The other
538.
Yes, those have challenges in terms of houses not being repaired or particular isolated challenges. Mm-hmm. So we have as I said in the speech yesterday, we have really done really well, best in class in terms of the restoration. But until everybody is connected, obviously the job will not be done, for sure.
Do you know within that figure any of the households that perhaps need assistance with rewiring and how the government perhaps can assist in that area?
Yes. So the JSIP program did divert attention to those parishes. And I've asked JPS, based on the report that I got yesterday, to give me the data on those houses to see whether or not JSIF can assist in terms of the rewiring for electricity. And of course, the Ministry of Labour with the roof program in terms of making sure that those houses are actually on the assessment list and are in the process of getting assistance from government on the different restoration programs that we have. So it's a coordinated effort, and as I said before, I mean, the commitment made, commitment kept, and I can categorically state again, if the government did not make that decision to loan the JPS $150 million in December, it is likely that we would not have gotten power. Originally, estimates from JPS was September to December 2026. They have revised that based on underground activities to January to June 2027. So you can just imagine where we would be today if that $150 million was not made available. And I would also want to clarify again that the government of Jamaica has loaned JPS no additional funds or given them any additional support of any kind in the restoration.
I want to turn your attention over to the transport area of your portfolio, Minister. I know you said something very important. in your speech yesterday, the timeline for taxi fare hike being brought forward based on the strain on the sector. A lot of listeners, a lot of comments, etc., in the public space would be like, what about those who are the passengers? You know, what do you mean by this hike? Why no? Those are the questions that are being asked. What do you say to those people, Minister?
So let's put it in perspective. The government of Jamaica, at the time, previous to me being minister, I think as far back as 2020 or 2021, had agreed to give a 35% increase at that time. That was not done. And when I became minister, it was one of the things that was first and foremost on the agenda of the public transport operators. We agreed to give them 16%, which we did, and we have a 19%. Oh, sorry, we gave them 19% with a 16% to come. We actually announced it and had to pull back on it based on the impact on inflation. And I recall meeting with Minister Clark at the time, and we were able to give them the 19% and ask them to hold back on the 16%, which they did. We had intended to give them that 16% at the end of last year, and then Melissa came. So again, it had to be delayed because the impact on inflation, especially with Melissa's, the impact from Melissa already would have been devastating. It is something that with the current fuel prices is going to have to be looked at sooner than later for the taxes. As it relates to fares, the JUTC has been giving subsidized fares, as you know, for a few years now, based on, again, the impact on inflation. So the fares, both in terms of the public transport operators and the JUTC, yes, in line with what's happening now, and it doesn't seem that there's any ease in terms of what's happening, is something that's going to have to be looked at. And that will all have to be looked at in the new scheme of the price cap, or the price cap that we are discussing at this moment now, and that is going to have on inflation. So it's damn if we do, damn if we don't, it's a very precarious situation that has to be handled very, very sensitively, because as I said before, we have already given $8 million US in subsidies since the war started, and if we go with the continued subsidies until June, end of May, June, it will be 11 billion Jamaican dollars subsidy that the government will have to find, because Petroja would not have that money. Therefore, the consolidated fund. And you can imagine also, if we remove the cap, what that's going to do to inflation, especially on the basis that the tax fares would have to be increased, and all the other things that go with it. So it's a very delicate balancing act, but I commit to keeping the country advised. I'm in close contact with the Minister of Finance. It was raised yesterday on Monday at Cabinet, discussed at length, and the Bank of Jamaica is involved doing their assessments, etc., because it's a major, major, major issue in terms of the inflation effect of any movements, either moving the cap or giving the increase to the transport operators.
Your opposition counterpart has suggested why not reduce the SCT on fuel. What say you?
Again, that's out of my ministry. That's the Ministry of Finance, but I suspect that many things will have to be looked at collectively and individually as possible positions that the government can take, even to take us over the next 6 months or to the end of the year. I guess we'll have to do it because we don't know what's going to happen with the war. And as I said before, yesterday the benchmark price was $112, $114.
It's not about 102.
We are moving from $70, eh?
Yes.
So, and we have been using $100 as pretty much the new benchmark. So it goes up and down. But as you know, we do our pricing every Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock with a pricing committee at Petrojam. So I'm sure that will be looked at again today to see exactly where we are.
So
but
just to understand you, Minister, the conversations being had behind closed doors is to possibly rather use more than one approach, absorbing some in terms of the consolidated fund as well as still moving ahead with the tiered approach?
Yeah, I think at this point, what has to be looked at is to see is possible reallocations within the current budget as a first option. But as I said, that discussion is taking place, and I'm sure that as soon as we have a final position and Cabinet approves, then I'll make the announcement, which will more than likely be on Monday.
Minister of Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, Darrell Vaz, which we had more time, but we'll certainly have you back on NTM. Thank you so much for your time this morning, Minister.
All the best. And everybody conserve as best as possible.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to take a break here on Nationwide this morning. When we come back from the break, we turn our attention to cement with the Minister of Industry, Senator Albin Hill.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is...
It's 7:50.
Hawkeye is protecting homes, businesses, and communities with trusted security solutions. The temperature by Hawkeye, securing what matters most, is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston and Montego Bay and 24 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The following safety tip is brought to you by the Ministry of National Security. Avoid walking alone, especially at night. Walk in well-lit areas, and if it appears someone might be following you, stay composed and proceed to a crowded area or go directly to the nearest police station. Stay alert, stay vigilant. The preceding safety tip was brought to you by the Ministry of National Security.
Already have a T-Tag for your vehicle? Just top it up and go through. Here's a pro tip. If you keep forgetting to add funds to your T-Tag, you can use the auto top-up feature in the My T-Tag app. You can set it to automatically top up your T-Tag at a specific time each day, week, or month. Or you can set it to automatically top up your T-Tag when your account balance goes below any value you choose. Top up your T-Tag and continue to go through quicker and cheaper on Transjam highways.
Your dream home just got easier with Active Home Center. Now you can shop online for tiles, bathroom fixtures, furniture, appliances, and so much more, all from the comfort of your home. Visit ActiveHomeCenter.com, explore thousands of styles, get the best deals, then click and collect at your nearest Active location. Simple, secure, convenient. Your home is just one click away. Active Home Center, more savings, more choices.
We're back with you. It's Nationwide this morning. Now we're going over to the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, and we're speaking to Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Minister Senator Albin Hill, and we're speaking about the cement shortage. Of course, we've heard about that based on the continuous heavy rainfalls across the island in recent weeks. It has resulted in operational challenges at the Caribbean Cement Company Limited, which has affected the supply of cement in the market. Minister, good morning to you.
Sandra, it is Sandra, isn't it?
Yes, Minister.
Good morning, sir, and to your listeners, good morning.
Tana is with me as well.
Oh, my dear St. Elizabeth Hamptonian.
Good morning to you.
All right, Minister, Jamaicans have been hearing about interim measures, stabilization efforts, and additional shipments, but many persons have still not heard probably a definitive update on this cement issue. What's the update you have for us?
The update is that very quickly, you have outlined that there were some weather events that caused problems. Those were, for instance, because of the continuous rain, the clinker clearly got wet, something that you get from the limestone and so on. So that got wet a lot. But more importantly, there were 2 pieces of mechanical failure at CCL. They got them to fix quickly. But before that, for instance, we have one importer who we keep as a safety valve just in case anything happens, and they import from close by in Damarep. And their warehouses got denuded because of Melissa. We weren't quite aware of that until March, and then they applied for an additional, above the quota that we normally give them, of 10,000 tons. They got a turnaround time from the ministry for that approval in 3 days. They're getting in their cement, but even when they come, because of the movement of pipes for water, you can't even clear them as quickly as you can from, and they operate in the western side of the country in Antigua Bay. So for the past 2 weekends, Caribbean Cement have brought in 3 shiploads of cement. And they have more or less ameliorated the problem of shortage with the major institutional buyers, the big buyers, who are then themselves distributors.
Yeah.
Those are more or less settled. I have been involved in a couple of those interactions. And the problem we now have, which is why you hear it, and it's really affecting ordinary people, is that the smaller bag cement, some have come in, they have unloaded them, they're unloading others. There are more coming in next week, and that should, and I have the shipments confirmed, and we expect that the shortage should be relieved by about this time next weekend, so that everybody should be back to normal. So it's the retail people, the people who don't frankly have to get cement to do burials. They're hurting. So there's movement
or building on their houses, as some people are saying in the chat. But Minister, I can cut you for 1 second just to ask this quickly. Will that affect the pricing any at all?
Well, no, because those pricing, given what has happened, Carib Cement knows that this would be the most terrible time to bring in pricing. In fact, this morning, right after I leave here and I have a meeting, I'm going to have a meeting with the regional director of CEMEX, Mr. Francisco. Is coming in to meet with the management of Carib Cement and myself and my ministerial technicians to go over what has to be done, because we don't want this to happen. They have the privilege of providing, we give them protection. And my argument for lots of people want to import cement, I say, no, I can't give you that to go and give jobs to other people. But if Carib Cement can't keep up the production because of one thing or the other, or they don't have storage for enough, then my argument about not giving jobs to other people goes away when Carib Cement comes to me and says, well, I need to import another 40 or 60,000 tons. So we're going to have those discussions. I don't think they'll be difficult. They understand they're going to have to get more storage to be prepared for, unusual shocks in market. Their producers, their manufacturers, things do happen.
And what's the update that you're hearing from Carib Cement in relation to the production aspect? You said there were some issues.
Production is back in order. Fully back in order. The rains have seceded somewhat, and their plant was fixed a week and a half ago. So they're back in production, but there was a backlog. Remember now that they had to be, unknown to the ministry, working on supplying some of the shortage in the western part of the country because of those warehouses that went down for that importer. So it's a combination of things, but I think we're almost back to normal now. My main concern is to see those ships coming in with the smaller bags of cement that will get to the homes and shops and hardware stores of Jamaicans.
So what about that person, Minister, that will say to you, based on this, or after your conversations this morning, is it a question of needing competition in our cement market?
There is a measure of competition, but I have had to deal with that question. I tell you, when I was the chairman of National Water Commission long before I came into ministerial positions. I've said to many people, look, you want to have the benefit that Carib Cement has, build a plant. Mm-hmm. No, I think in the past month or so, Sandra, 2 or 3 groups of prospective investors in cement have approached the ministry and others and looking to make their arrangements with market players here to build another cement plant, because clearly as we go through, now that NAR is going to be in place and we have to rebuild much quicker than we ever have had to in the past, a lot of cement is going to be needed, and there will be room, I imagine, for export. So investors are now looking seriously at putting another cement plant in Jamaica, which will, of course, bring in competition. Competition by just importing when somebody puts in, 40, 50, 60, $100 million in their factory does not make sense, because easily there are people who might, country producers might say, well, let's dump cement in a particular country until their producers have to go out of business. Then we have the market, then we raise the prices. So a lot of consideration we have to put into those questions, but they're valid ones.
Thank you so much, Minister. Thank you for joining us this morning. The Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Minister Albin Hill.
Thank you both. Thanks for having me.
All right. After this, we'll have Across Jamaica.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is...
It's 8 o'clock.
Interex Distributors presents the ultimate tile clearance sale. Transform your space for less. Dunrobin Plaza, 30 Dunrobin Avenue. The temperature by Interex Distributors is...
Celsius out west in Montego Bay, 27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and 23 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's Across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica this Teachers' Day, Wednesday, May 6, 2026 in St. Thomas. The temporary bypass road in Islington will be closed today, Wednesday, for emergency repairs. The National Works Agency, NWA, says this is to facilitate the installation of culvert pipes. The pipes are expected to make the road more resilient to flooding. The NWA says the works are expected to be completed by this Friday. The bypass was built across the Alice River to facilitate motorists who would normally use the Islington Bridge, which has been closed since the passage of Hurricane Melissa in October 2025. The bridge is to be replaced under the Accelerated Bridge Program, which has a target of 47 bridges nationwide. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the government is focused on early literacy as a cornerstone of national development. He says strong reading skills are essential to improving educational outcomes and expanding the opportunity for young Jamaicans. The Prime Minister was speaking on Tuesday during a Read Across Jamaica Day event at Jamaica House. The engagement brought together students from across the corporate area for an interactive reading session on the Jamaica House lawns. The Prime Minister read with the children and joined them in song creating a lively environment that encouraged learning and expression. The initiative was supported by UNICEF. A traffic ticket public day has been scheduled for July 8 and July 9. Chief Justice Brian Sykes says this is a strategic response to the persistent backlog of traffic cases. The Court Administration of Jamaica previously announced plans to launch the initiative island-wide. It says that the number of unpaid tickets between January 2018 and January this year stood at over 1 million, amounting to some $4 billion. St. Andrew is the parish with the highest number of unpaid traffic tickets, 300,000. Eligible participants for the Traffic Ticket Public Day are motorists with tickets dating from February 1, 2018 to 2026. Motorists are encouraged to make use of the opportunity to avoid the execution of warrants. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Wednesday morning.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10 or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Shrats, you know here, we totally turn up down at Total Tools. Big things are going. Yes, my love. 10 a.m., May 15 at Total Tools, Lot C6 Drax Hall. Whole heap of new things, whole heap of excitement. And guess what? Cliffviews Online, I got it there live on location from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Abanga prizes, surprises, and giveaways. I got it there. But I'm not alone, you know. Them are going to have up to 25% off at all 3 locations. Can't miss this. Remember, 10 a.m., May 15, Total Tools, Lot C6, Drax Hall. Catch it live on YouTube during Cliffviews Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's a go massive.
Every day, Jamaicans have something to say. In the group chats, on social media, in the streets, there's a place where it all comes together. The comment section. This is not a lecture. This is not a call-in show. This is the hottest topics of the day, filtered through real opinions, real WhatsApp messages, real voice notes, real reactions. You agree, disagree, sound off, text it, voice note it, debate it. Comments section, Monday to Friday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
Attention all data protection enthusiasts. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM every Tuesday at 8:20 a.m. and Thursday at 8:25 a.m. for a new program, Data Protection Matters. Join us as we delve into crucial topics that will keep you informed and compliant. Data Protection Matters is hosted by Chuck Cameron, founder of Design Privacy, your trusted partner in data protection. Don't miss out. That's every Tuesday morning at 8:20 and every Thursday at 8:25 a.m. Stay protected, stay informed with Nationwide 90 FM and Design Privacy.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me. Let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the
back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Fit Nation is brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
You wanna hot buddy? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work. You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis, look hot in a bikini. You better work. You wanna live fancy, live in a big mansion, party in France. You better work. You better work. You better work. You better work. Now get to work. Now get to work. Ring it on, don't stop now, just be the champion. Working hard like it's your profession. Watch out now, 'cause here it comes. Here comes the special, here comes the master, here comes the big beat to blast ya. No time to quit now, just time to get it now. Pick up what I'm putting down, pick up what I'm putting down. You want a hot buddy? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work. You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis, look hot in a bikini. You better work. You wanna live fancy, live in a big mansion, party in France. You better work. You better work. You better work. You better work. Now get to work.
That time of a Wednesday morning, it's time for Fit Nation. And in Fit Nation this morning, we're focusing on the best breakfast foods for weight loss. So starting your day with healthy breakfast foods can help you maintain energy, keep hunger at bay, and lose weight. Research shows that regular breakfast eaters tend to be leaner and people that are more successful at losing weight. So the question is, you need ideas for a healthy breakfast. This is our focus in Fit Nation today, and dietitian and host of Eating Well, the YouTube channel, Jessica, will talk to you about eating well and the best breakfast foods for weight loss this morning.
If weight loss is your goal, there are healthy and not so healthy ways to do it. The most important part of your diet should be staying nourished, and these healthy breakfast foods for weight loss can help you do just that while meeting your health goals. What makes a breakfast good for weight loss? Breakfast is a really important meal. It might just be the most important one of the day. It can help increase your levels of energy and focus, decrease your appetite and hunger, and level out your blood sugar. It might even help with your appetite and weight loss if that's your goal. First, it should be made up of foods you enjoy. Second, it should have a balance of protein, healthy fat, and complex carbs like whole grains, fruits, or legumes. This combination of nutrients can help you feel more satisfied and help you feel more full throughout the day. This is a non-exhaustive list of some nutritious breakfast options that could help support your weight loss efforts. 1. Raspberries. 1 cup of raspberries offers 8 grams of fiber, the same amount that's in a cup of beans. Eating more fiber is a good way to feel more full and encourage weight loss. Some research even suggests that increasing your fiber intake by 8 grams per 1,000 calories could lead to over 4 pounds of weight loss over time. 2. Oatmeal. Oatmeal is a heavy hitter when it comes to fiber, and the specific type of fiber in oats called beta-glucan is responsible for a lot of its benefits. Beta-glucan is a type of soluble fiber that forms a gel-like consistency in our gut, which helps slow down and regulate how quickly foods move through our digestive tracts. Research has found that beta-glucan led to reduced weight in those who enjoyed oats regularly. Beyond promoting weight loss, oats can help stabilize blood sugar levels, lower cholesterol, and improve gut health. 3. Yogurt. Yogurt is full of protein and gut-healthy probiotics, making it a great option for a healthy breakfast. In fact, a report in the New England Journal of Medicine listed yogurt as one of its top 5 foods for weight loss. Plus, it's super versatile. Blend it into smoothies, enjoy it as a parfait, or add it into oatmeal and baked goods for extra creaminess. 4. Peanut butter. All nuts are a great source of protein, fiber, and healthy fats, and peanuts and peanut butter are no exception. 2 tablespoons delivers 7 grams of protein and 2 grams of fiber. Enjoy it at breakfast on toast, in smoothies, or with fruit. 5. Eggs. Eggs are one of the most inexpensive protein options at the grocery store, especially when you consider the per serving cost. 1 large egg has around 6 grams of protein, and it has tons of healthy fat that give it ample staying power. One study found that those who ate eggs for breakfast felt more full and lost more than twice as much weight as those who ate the same amount of calories from a bagel for breakfast. Be sure to eat the yolks when you eat an egg. It has almost half of the protein and all of the micronutrients. All of the foods on this list are super nutritious breakfast options, whether or not you're trying to lose weight. The best way to enjoy the most important meal of the day is make sure you have a source of protein, healthy fat, and complex carbs. Remember that eating well means not skipping your breakfast. Thanks for watching.
After 50.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much to Jessica of Eating Well, that YouTube channel, and a dietitian, talking to us this morning about the best breakfast foods for weight loss in the Fit Nation segment.
You wanna hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work. You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis, look hot in a bikini. You better work. You wanna live fancy, live in a big mansion, party in France? You better work. You better work. You better work. You better work. Now get to work. Now get to work. Ring it on, ring it on. Don't stop now, just be the champion.
Fit Nation was brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is...
It's 8:15.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy. It's all good inside is...
29 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 29 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, and 25 degrees Celsius in the cool hills of Mandeville.
Enough power tool, big to small. Jack on my figure, dig the wall. Upper Total Tools. Weed whacker figure, trim the lawn. We have everything a job demand. Total Tools. We rent them, sell them, and fix them. Also give Total Tools a call. When I say home improvement, landscape construction, a Total Tools are your option. Home improvement, landscape construction, Total Tools are your option.
Total Tools, located at 102 Main Street, Ocho Rios, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston.
And lot C6 Draxall, St. Anne's Bay. Call us today.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Shrats, you know here with totally totally turn up down at Total Tools. Big things are going on. Yes, my love. 10 a.m., May 15 at Total Tools, Lot C6 Drax Hall. Whole heap of new things, whole heap of excitement. And guess what? Cliffviews Online I got it there live on location from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I got prizes, surprises, and giveaways. I got there. But I'm not that alone, you know. Them are going to have up to 25% off at all 3 locations. You can't miss this. Remember, 10 a.m., May 15, Total Tools, Lot C6, Drax Hall. Catch it live on YouTube during Cliffviews Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's a go massive.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM with Pepita and Honeybee from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. on the E-Zone as we broadcast live from Mega Mart Waterloo, Friday, May 8.
Me love you, there's nothing I'd put above you. No house, nor no girl, nor no car.
Pepita and Honeybee plus Mega Mart are doing it big for Mother's Day.
Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through.
Join us at Mega Mart Waterloo for all the Mother's Day specials, excitement, entertainment, and more. Pepita and Honeybee are doing it mega with Mega Mart. Don't miss the pre-Mother's Day outside broadcast.
Mama, you gave life to me.
Come be a part of the mega broadcast with Pepita and Honeybee Friday, May 8 at Mega Mart Waterloo from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m.
There is no other love like a mother.
This broadcast is brought to you by Mega Mart, the best value by far.
And I know love so complete.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me. Let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Nationwide this morning, a night of jazz, elegance, gospel spirit, contemporary Caribbean soul. That type of music, it awaits you, music lovers, next weekend with Verlando Small Reimagined. Presented by Verlando Small, music in partnership with Aurum Lux Entertainment. The immersive concert experience will be staged on Saturday, May 9th at 7 p.m. and Sunday, May 10th at 6 p.m. at the Philip Sherlock Center for the Creative Arts at the University of the West Indies Mona campus. For more on what patrons can expect, we're joined by saxophonists that you're hearing in the background. I don't know if you're hearing what I'm hearing, but if you're hearing what I'm hearing, we're joined by saxophonist and executive producer Verlando Small and executive producer of the Verlando Small Reimagined, Nicole Osborne. Good morning to you both.
Morning time, greetings.
Wow, I always wanted to learn how to play the saxophone.
What you saying?
Yeah, but I haven't gotten around to that skill yet. So I want to know what inspired you, in 2026 to have this special event wherein you can serenade, and I hope you don't steal anybody's mothers at this event, where you can serenade mothers on this special day, special time for them and celebrate them. Starting with you, Verlando.
Why now, you ask? It's been a while coming. I've spent the better part of 10 years honing my skills, giving of myself, building other persons, and I think it's just time now to invest in what God has placed inside of me, get it out, look at what it looks like, this thing that is spinning, turn it around, see what is what, and just build out an event and a space where musicians can be celebrated on one side, and mothers come this weekend can be serenaded, and just put them in a space where they can really be just fitted and appreciated.
Indeed, I totally get that. Nicole, you are managing and putting things together for this event. What has it been like, and what can the patrons look forward to?
From a management standpoint, it has been an awesome experience. This is the first show that I am producing with just musicians, or musicians as the headliner, so it's different, excitingly different actually. Patrons can expect a wide cross-section of genres being interpreted through the lens of the music. So we're used to listening to the lyrics and singing the lyrics and paying attention to the words, but this show allows you to pay attention to the sound, and more importantly, how the musicians have been able to put their own interpretation and their own cinematography upon the sound.
Yeah, so Verlando, over to you. Your own interpretation of mothers and what that will look like for mothers on these 2 days. How will they feel when you take up that sax and you just walk around the room serenading? What will they feel?
What I hope they will feel is a connection to who I am. My spirit, that intangible part of me. I always tell persons that I'm a singer without a voice, so I use my instrument as the medium to channel what I have to say. So what I'm hoping is for a connection between myself and not just the mothers, but the men who will also take their moms. They will feel a connection to the music, because music is a gift directly from heaven. Right, that is something I wholeheartedly believe, and to be able to just be a vessel to channel that to people is an honor in and of itself. So what I'm hoping for is that connection, so persons will leave the event saying, yo, we felt your heart.
Nicole, tell us a little bit more about the event. Is there a price to it? What time should the patrons be ready for it? How can they reach out? All of those things.
Okay, no problem. So, yes, the event has a cost. We are at the Philip Sherlock Center, as you would have mentioned. On Saturday, the show time is 7 p.m. Gates open at 6. On Sunday, show time is 6 p.m. Gates open at 5. We are procuring an all-inclusive VIP experience. So the ticket price of $11,000 does include cocktails. We will have a reception area set up for you upon entry, as well as after each show. The musicians will be doing a meet and greet, so you'll have a chance to speak to Verlando and the other instrumentalists. Tickets are available at Fontana, Barbican, Waterloo, and Portmore, as well as at Jesse's Events and Decor, which is at 14 Lady Musgrave Road. They are also available online at spuropen.com and touchstonelink.com. For further information, you can reach out to us on IG at Verlando Small Reimagined.
And before you both go, I want to give Verlando the last moment to tell those who are coming, whatever is on your heart, whatever you want to say, it's your moment.
So many of you would have been introduced to me via the platform Rising Stars, that I'm so grateful for. If it wasn't for that platform, many persons wouldn't know who Verlando Small is. And you voted for me, you spent your hard-earned money, and you made me the winner of Rising Stars in 2013. And this coming weekend, I want to play my heart out for all of those persons who one would have just, even if you never vote and you just watch me and you didn't like me, one of the Sunday them, come at the show. I want to play for you. Yes.
All right, I think that's a good way to end it there. That's Verlando Small. He is a saxophonist and the executive producer of Verlando Small. Verlando Small. And then the executive producer of Verlando Small Reimagined is Nicole Osborne, and they are expecting to see you at these 2 days, Saturday, May 9th and Sunday, May 10th, as he'll be playing not just by himself but with other musicians. Correct. And you can have that time. She's giving all the information, but you can give them again really quickly before you go, Nicole.
No problem. One more time. Physical tickets available Fontana, Barbican, Waterloo, Portmore. Digital tickets available at spuropen.com and touchstonelink.com. We also have a partnership with Jesse's Events and Decor on Lady Musgrave Road. So while you're getting your Mother's Day gift there, you can also buy a ticket and fit your mom to the show and the gift.
So
thank you so much.
If somebody decide to walk up to the gate, can they get tickets to purchase?
Well, tickets are going fast, so I would suggest you don't wait on the gate. But yes, we are trying to also have tickets at the gate. So we know Jamaicans kind of extra busy. I didn't want to use that word, but Jamaicans tend to be extra busy. So if on Saturday evening you feel a vibe, come vibe with us. We will find a space for you.
And don't be late. If the show time is 6 o'clock, trust me, you want to be seated at 5:45.
Correct.
I promise you. You don't want to miss.
They're not late.
Yeah.
These musicians, they're not.
Late is not something that we do. The show starts at 6.
So you're saying sharp?
Not even sharp.
Before.
The show starts
at 6.
At 6. Yeah. Full stop.
Okay.
And that's what? On Sunday?
That's on Sunday.
On Saturday, the show starts at
7.
Full stop.
All right. Thank you so much, Verlando and Nicole, for joining us. And of course, you heard it here on Nationwide this morning. And of course, they're looking out to see you and see you bringing your moms to enjoy this special moment with Verlando Small. And that's it for this segment. We're going for a break. We'll be right back with you.
It's 9 days of deals at Azan Supercenter. From April 30 to May 9, get super savings on your favorite items. Shopping for Mother's Day or Teacher's Day? We have the widest range of gift sets, home essentials, gift cards, and more. It's shopping made easy. Bring the family, load up your cart, and save big. April 30 to May 9.
It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
If you love the vibes, the laughs, and the real talk, then you're one of us. Don't just listen, belong. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club on Patreon.
The Philharmonic Orchestra of Jamaica presents Encore, a harmonic reawakening, captivating music from the classical masters, movies, and our homeland. Saturday, May 16 and Sunday, May 17 at the Little Theatre. Conductor Franklin E. Halliburton. Guest soloist Sashika Brown. Tickets $5,000 pre-sold, $6,000 at the gate. Reserved box seats $7,500. Tickets at Fontana Pharmacy, Waterloo, and Sovereign, and the Music Mart. The Philharmonic Orchestra of Jamaica in concert, May 16 and 17 at the Little Theatre.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM with Pepita and Honeybee from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. on the E-Zone as we broadcast live from Mega Mart Waterloo, Friday, May 8.
No house, nor no girl, nor no car.
Pepita and Honeybee plus Mega Mart are doing it big for Mother's Day.
Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through.
Join us at Mega Mart Waterloo for all the Mother's Day specials, excitement, entertainment, and more. Pepita and Honeybee are doing it mega with Mega Mart. Don't miss the pre-Mother's Day outside broadcast.
Mama, you gave life to me.
Come be a part of the mega broadcast with Pepita and Honeybee Friday, May 8 at Mega Mart Waterloo from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m.
There is no other love like your mother.
This broadcast is brought to you by Mega Mart, the best value by far.
And I know love so complete.
We're back with you right here on Nationwide this morning. It is a very, 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 very happy Teachers Day, and I won't be biased any at all. I won't be biased. I'm gonna say to every teacher, a very happy Teachers Day to you, and specifically a school that I'm affiliated with. Well, the South Savannah Primary and Infant and Primary School in Clarendon. We're wishing a very happy Teachers Day to the teachers down there in Clarendon. Very special happy Teachers Day to you and to Caroline Smith and to all the people. You know, we're going to take some calls, Tana, but we're taking the calls on the pretext that you're going to tell us about your favorite teacher. So if you're not telling about your favorite teacher, you know, can't tell about nothing else, because we want to hear from you. You know, who is your favorite teacher? What is your favorite memory with that teacher? And you know, I have so many experiences with so many good teachers, and I'll say, what are the numbers again, Tana?
So 630-9371-4. That's 630-9371, and it goes up to 4, or 618-6730.
So those are the numbers, and that's all we're going to talk about, your favorite teachers in the little time that we have. But I'll go back to high school really quickly to tell you a story, Tana.
Yeah.
I had a teacher, Miss Grant. I can't forget her because she's been so integral in my life growth and development. There's a time she taught me biology. There's a time I was just there as existing at school, in high school, and I was like, you know, I was just doing my own thing. And then if she didn't see me in any of her classes, she'd find me. She'd say, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
She said, "I know your potential, you know. You need to come to class. Like, why did you miss my class?" You know, whether or not it was a legitimate reason, she ensured that I was there. And my friends, she wasn't a disciplinarian. She wasn't, Tana. But whenever she asked for me, and if I was up to no good, my friends would literally say, Grant asked me, and make sure we can't take the pressure, you know. So yeah, but then she did a really sweet thing for me once. I don't know if she remembered, but there's a trip, and I decided I wasn't going to go on that trip, and I was like, there's money for it, and I wasn't going to tell my mother, and I was just like, yeah, because I wasn't going to put my mother through that, and I said I was just going to go to school on the day. She, you know, she saw me and she said, so you're not going on a trip? This is the day of the trip. I said, no, won't be able to. And she said, why? And I told her the real reason. And she said, okay, all right, go on the bus. Oh,
just like
wait, let me call your mother first to get her consent. Call mother, got her consent, and just she brought we went on the bus, and it was one of those marine trips where we got to go in the glass bottom boat to see the fish, and we were doing that type of biology at that time. And you know,
you were happy for her intervention.
I was, because I was like, you know, when you think about those moments, you think about somebody genuinely caring about your growth and development.
Yeah.
You know for a fact that there are some really good people that have chosen the profession of educating others, educating children, caring about them, being there for them.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, we have a lot of good experiences. What do you say, Sir King? Annette is on with us. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Nationwide.
Good morning, Annette.
Yes, I am actually a first-time caller.
Oh, welcome.
I listen to you every morning, and I laugh, and it's very informative. So I just want to put that out there.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you, Annette.
But I have 3 favorite teachers, one by default, but I tell you by the default one first. The default one is my husband.
Oh.
Philip Williams. Happy Teacher's Day, my love. The first one is from primary school, Mr. McCoy. He taught me in grade 3, 4, and 6. He is now the principal for Shortwood Practicing All Age.
Okay, lovely.
Excellent teacher. I have learned quite a lot from him. So I'd like to say Happy Teacher's Day to Mr. McCoy. But the special one now is Mr. Mark Roberts. He taught me in high school mathematics. He, you know, those teachers that bring out the best in you, even when you don't know mathematics.
Absolutely.
It just make you feel like you're bright.
Yeah.
That was Mark Roberts, and I was actually the only girl that passed mathematics that year at my high school.
Wow.
Because of Mark Roberts.
That's amazing, Annette.
Yes. Happy Teacher's Day. He's not in the classroom anymore.
Yeah.
But Happy Teacher's Day, Mark. I really appreciate you, and you made a very big impact on me.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Happy Teachers Day to all of them, including your lovely husband,
Yes.
who is an educator.
Have a great day, team.
You too, Annette.
All right, Sean is our next caller who has about 2 minutes before we have to go. Sean, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir, and welcome to Nationwide. Blessings. I Nationwide from AIM. I'm saying blessed day to my teacher, Mr. Marshall. I don't quite remember his first name, but his name was Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
And every Monday morning he used to beat me. I don't know what.
Sean.
Yeah, every Monday morning in beat me.
So it was a predestined beating scheduled for every Monday?
Every Monday morning. And after Monday morning, no more lashes after Monday morning, but every Monday morning.
That's interesting. And what's about Monday?
I simply don't know more.
But big of your teacher, Mr. Marshall.
Mr. Burrell from Penwood. I don't know his first name, but he was a good teacher during them time. I spoke to him about Pepe jumping the wall one time and him tell them back and them end up beating him.
About Pepe, that was a peer? Another student?
Pepe Goody climb over the wall over the gate one time. And me tell him to Pepe climb over the wall. I know Pepe them time in my star ball in that school and
yeah. And you got a beating for that?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Sean.
Yeah. It's a termite lifestyle, you know.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the you know, the encouragement and the concern towards development and things. But you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it helped me to grow a lot and enhance my academic ability.
Okay.
Yeah, they never really turned me back from learning, like more, encourage me more to learn more.
Good stuff.
Yeah, even though my peers was always at sea during them time there, you know? Yeah.
Well, big up yourself, Sean, and big up to your teachers.
Yeah,
former
man,
teachers
as well, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Sean. Donna Llewellyn in the chat saying Happy Teachers Day to my family who are in this noble teaching profession. Sophia Llewellyn, Renee Llewellyn, Dane Hyde, and Natasha Khalil in Connecticut. I do say I'll go as far as to say the teachers at the Wolmer's Boys School. I say Happy Teachers Day to you. The teachers from the Wolmer's Boys School. Just throwing that out there. I think somebody might have said it in the chat, Mr. King. That's why somebody says big up Sister Gardner of Meadowvale SD, was a brilliant lecturer at NCU. So even lecturers, yeah, it's Teachers Day.
Yeah.
Lecturers are teachers too. Yeah. I've had a mixed bag of lecturers, but I've had some very good ones. Some very good ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Decorate like a designer with BH Paints. The time brought to you by BH Paints is...
It's 13 minutes to 9.
stay awake just to hear you breathing. Watch you smile while you are sleeping, while you're far away and dreaming. I could spend my life in this sweet surrender. I could stay lost in this moment forever. Every moment spent with you is a moment I treasure. Don't wanna close my eyes, I don't wanna fall asleep, 'cause I miss you, baby, and I don't wanna miss a thing. 'Cause even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream will never do. I still miss you, baby, and I don't wanna miss a thing. Lying close to you.
Got the MC.
Yeah. I don't want to miss a thing.
Sending Happy Teachers Day to all the teachers at Jonathan Grant High School, especially those who have been there from 1994. So Happy Teachers Day to them. And Grace Price is sending Happy Teachers Day to her neighbor who teaches at the Wolmer's Boys.
Look at that.
School.
At the Wolmer's Boys High School right here on Nationwide this morning. Happy Teachers Day again. As a matter of fact, Happy Teachers Day to Mr. Pennycook, who is the principal of the Wolmer's Boys High School. I know I'm going to tell you a story, actually. Another story really quickly, Tana, is that Mr. Pennycook taught me English when I was in first form. And what's interesting about that is that when he came in, he said we need to walk with our dictionaries. And then majority of us never had our dictionaries, and he just gave us a class detention. You see, after that, any book that Mr. Pennycook says you ought to bring it. You ought to bring. And we understood. He was a really good teacher, though. Disciplinarian, but a really, really good teacher. Christopher Henry saying happy birthday to his sister Stacy and Henry. Wishing you a very, very happy birthday in this segment, Stacy, and we hope you have many, many more years of life. But yeah, my stories are really interesting.
Well, I say a special good morning to all the teachers of Rosal Basic, Rosal Primary, Hampton School. They were really involved in holistic development of students across all of the education sector that I was involved in. And I'm very happy to have sat in classrooms where those teachers led and taught. I was better for it. So a happy Teachers Day to all the teachers of Rosal Basic School, Rosal Primary, and Hampton School.
Yeah, I didn't even go back you on the mic, Mr. King?
So Jermaine says a happy Teachers Day to all the teachers at, he says, the greatest institution, Calabar High School.
Right, so as I was saying,
all the teachers over there at Rabalock, yeah man, big up.
Big up to the teachers at all the all-boys school across the island, all the all-girls school across the island, all the co-ed schools across the island. Special happy Teachers Day greeting, to those from my old prep school, my Nathan Prep, those teachers, all of you that I can think of. I know I'm still in contact with some of you now. Wishing you a very happy Teachers Day wherever you are. And Sarika Marna says Miss Walters from Black River Primary was her grade 1 teacher. She is of course retired, but happy Teachers Day to her. I'm not seeing much birthdays, which I understand. We see more Teachers Days, which is good too.
Jordan Campbell sending happy Teachers Day to Mrs. Campbell at Cambridge High School in St. James. Don Lexi sending happy Teachers Day to David Wilson, principal of Clarendon College and uncle. So big up to yourself, David Wilson. And Sasha said, very strict principal at Wolmer's. My grandson is there. Good principal. So big up yourself, principal over there at Wolmer's.
Yes, Mr. Pennycook. Yeah.
Yeah, and
the people are talking,
big up
Mr.
Teacher
King.
Grant.
Just saying.
Janelle Thompson Duncan sending happy Teachers Day to all the teachers at George Headley Primary School, especially 6 Halsell, is it? Have a great day, Miss Halsell. So happy Teachers Day to you. And Alfie McDonald sending happy Teachers Day to Sister Jody K. McDonald at Mearnsville Primary and Infant School. All teachers at Grateful Hill Primary as well, and Infant and Glengoff High.
Beth Thompson saying good morning, happy Teachers Day to all the teachers at the Spanish Town Primary School and to all the great Jamaican maths teachers in Charlotte and North Carolina. Very happy Teachers Day to you guys.
Yeah, and Shauna Scott sending happy Teachers Day to all the teachers at William Knibb Memorial High School. So happy Teachers Day to them. Everybody sending happy Teachers Day to all the teachers at Carisbrook Primary School, past and present. Rose Green, happy Teachers Day to all the teachers at Knox College, the big school. Louina Box sending happy Teachers Day to all the teachers at St. Hugh's High School. And Gracefully Broken, happy Teachers Day to the eminent teachers with combined experiences of over 25 years. Sasha Gay Linton, won by a teacher from Linton's Academic Services, and Mr. Rowe, Maths and Physics lecturer. Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing happy Teachers Day to the teachers, especially at Clarendon College and Knox College. Happy Teachers Day to a friend of mine, Tony. Happy Teachers Day, and happy Teachers Day to those who are teachers at Kingston College. Mr. King, Kingston College, happy Teachers Day. Mr. King is sending a special happy Teachers Day to those from Mr. Kingston College. Well, he said I can't do that on his behalf because he is going to fight, but that's okay. I'm saying happy Teachers Day to those teachers especially. And I'm seeing here from Jeneth Ramsey, my sister Anne-Marie Ramsey, happy Teachers Day going out to you, principal at Central Village SDA Infant School. Very happy Teachers Day going out to you.
Joseph Dawkins sending happy Teachers Day to all the teachers at Calabar. Grace Price sending Teachers Day greetings to daughter Price Robinson, who teaches at St. Andrew High School for Girls and at St. Joseph Teachers College. Happy Teachers Day to her. And Dunstan Baker sending greetings to the principal and teachers at Excelsior High School. So happy Teachers Day to them. Jeneth is sending happy Teachers Day to all the teachers. Oh, you said this one. Anne-Marie Ramsey, bring up yourself again.
Yeah.
And quickly turning to some birthdays before we wrap.
Oh, yes.
Happy birthday greetings going out to Inspector Warren Ward, SSP Clive Blair in Westmoreland, Kimberly Crooks Hewitt in Sav, and David Mullings Jr. in Mabay. Happy birthday greetings to all of you. And it's coming from Sergeant Wayne Wallace. Over on Facebook, Joan Thomas, Michelle Tanique or Tanique Mitchell, Hopeton Daily Stretch, and Ashley Witter. Happy birthday. Happy birthday as well to Tanisha Carr, Dan Grant, and Patrick Nelson, Lucille Bent. Happy birthday to all of you. Wishing for you a lovely day. Belated happy birthday greetings going out to Barbara Bailey in the U.S. Good morning to you, Barbara. It's your birthday, or it was your birthday. Belated happy birthday greetings to you from Desmond in Treasure Beach. And a special happy birthday greetings going out to Jevon, a.k.a. Saji. Happy birthday greetings to you, Saji, from your sister Chantal Dwyer. And Chantal is also sending happy birthday greetings to her nephew, Alaire. Both of you celebrating your birthday today. Happy birthday greetings to you, Saji, Javon, a.k.a. Saji, and nephew, Alaire. Greetings coming from Chantal saying, love you both to the moon and back.
Yeah, that's about it for our birthdays.
When I think back on these times.
Some more it's Teachers Day greetings as we wrap. Carol sending happy Teachers Day to this one says to the teachers at Daly and Locke Basic School and the Polyground Primary School in Newarton. And Sarika sending happy Teachers Day to Miss Russell of Heidel Prep and Kinder School. Have a great day. Love you loads. And Herman Heights sending happy Teachers Day to the teachers at Wood Park Basic in St. Mary. And Lady Smiley sending happy Teachers Day to all the teachers at Ocherius High and Primary. Barbara sending happy Teachers Day to the teachers at Denby Primary School. Carmita Sadler, happy Teachers Day to all the teachers of Miramar Kinder Prep in Morant Bay, wishing them a great day today from Mrs. Sadler. And Kariva sending Happy Teacher's Day to her beautiful niece Tamika. Good morning to you, Tamika. Happy Teacher's Day to you. Dunstan Baker, Happy Teacher's Day to the teachers of Mountain View Primary. And Kingsley sending greetings to the educators there at Otrius High. And Louina Box to all the teachers over there at St. Hugh's Prep School, especially Ms. Drummond, wishing you all a wonderful day. To all the teachers of St. Mary College, Glenmin sending Happy Teacher's Day to you. And Mushroom is sending Happy Teacher's Day greetings to all the teachers of Salt Savannah Primary School in Rocky Settlement, Clarendon, especially to Mrs. Bett. So, if you're celebrating today, if it's your birthday, happy anniversary. And again, to all the teachers, happy Teacher's Day. So, that's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide This Morning NTM. Thanks as much to our technical operator, Jermaine King, our super producer, Michelle McCray Smith, and our super editor, Kimon Thompson. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton at 10. Click Views Online. I'm Tana.
I'm Sandre.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My strength, and I wanna thank you now for all the way.
You've just heard Nationwide This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
It's time for Hot Listings, Nationwide 90 FM's on-air classifieds, made for quick ads and fast results.
Buy or sell properties in Jamaica with Sophia Earle, trusted real estate agent with Keller Williams Jamaica. Call 876-337-9825. That's 876-337-9825.
That was Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM. Listings start as low as $1,500. Call 876-630-1210 to book yours today.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
You decided to pursue